Hello, in this presentation, I'm going to share to you some tips in learning a new language based on my personal experience. There is no magic in learning a new language. It doesn't happen overnight. There should always be a process. It also involves patience and hard work. I'm going to take up the four major skills of language learning, namely listening, speaking, reading, and writing. The first one is listening. This skill is the foundation of learning languages for those who are not hearing impaired. It is good to start with the basics of any language that you want to learn. Even if you're too old to start from the alphabet, you don't have a choice but to experience this stage. After getting over familiar with the enunciation of each letter, it is your turn to follow. Develop this skill by making listening exercises more challenging. It helps to listen to local FM stations, dialogues of people on the bus, or even at stores. In my case, the children's channel helped me a lot when I was learning Swedish. I would watch this channel called Barnkanalen with my toddler during her TV time. If it is not too much to invest, secure a phone with an MP3 player or Spotify, download local music and make a playlist on your phone. You may also listen to it when you are out for a walk or while at the gym. Watch movies without showing the subtitle. You will realize you are getting the gist of the film that you're watching without relying on the translated text. Listen, listen, and listen. Epictetus said, "Nature has given us two ears but one mouth, so we may listen twice as much as we speak." Moving on to speaking. Don't be afraid to talk, especially if you're trying to follow a speech model or a dialogue from a local TV program, movie script, or teacher. If you're alone, talk to yourself, even if you may sometimes look or sound crazy. Try to look for friends who are natives of the language that you want to learn, or find a local chatmate who is willing to have a coffee or tea with you. If you are, for example, a native speaker of English or at least have a good command of the English language and you want to learn French, it is best to find a language exchange partner who is a French native and in return wants to learn English. Socialize by attending local groups or organizations that will expose you to the local culture and language. If you are attending a class, do not be ashamed to ask questions to your teacher or converse with your classmates using only the language that you are learning. If you're learning Arabic, for instance, impose an Arabic only rule during your conversation. The third one is reading. It is your time to label the alphabet that you heard and enunciated with symbols. Do not rush by introducing difficult words or sentences to yourself. Build your word bank by starting with single syllable words, double syllables, triple, and more until you reach phrases, sentences, paragraphs, and articles. You are allowed to consult a dictionary on the early stage of your language learning, but if you pass the primary level, try to use a non-translating dictionary. Use English only dictionary if you're learning English. What materials can help you improve your reading skills? If your level is elementary, do not be embarrassed to read local children's books. I can clearly remember the famous Swedish author Astrid Lindgren, who wrote Emil and Ida, Pippi Långstrump, when I was learning Swedish. The books were presents to my daughter, and I made use of them to improve my reading skills. It is also helpful to read local news and articles from your textbooks if you're attending a language class. My English teacher in college said that reading out loud can improve diction, where silent reading can improve comprehension. Mind you, it worked for me. Number four is writing. I agree with the famous novelist Anne Tyler when she said, "If I waited till I felt like writing, I'd never write at all." I find writing as the most challenging skill to develop although essay test is my favorite. I was surprised when I took my Swedish level C test that I got the highest score in the written part when I found the three other skills more manageable. It is good to have a vocabulary journal starting with easy words like names of fruits, vegetables, other kinds of food, parts of the house, question and answer expressions, weather, and days of the week. Always make it a point to write words or at least copy them with their right spelling. Make a daily diary of your progress and try to write in the language that you are learning. Avoid translating it into your most comfortable or native language because the tendency is that you get to be dependent on it. How can you write more? The answer is easy. Read more. Reading serves as your input while writing is your output. How can you write when you have not read anything? This is especially true to visual learners like me. May I enumerate to you other helpful suggestions? A. Establish your need and goal in learning the language. B. Read and speak out everyday expressions like greetings, going to the store, taking the bus, asking and giving directions. C. Join some local groups doing the same hobbies and interests. D. If you have kids, bring them to Kids Club and meet up with other parents living locally. E. Organize a foreigners group, immigrants club, or language learners circle, and plan some activities that will improve your language skills. F. Expose yourself to cultural programs and performances. G. Make weekly or monthly goals and discipline yourself to achieve them. For example, this week you want to learn about restaurant expressions. All you have to do is divide the days of the week by doing a daily schedule. Start with common words and expressions used in restaurants, such as but not limited to reserving a table, ordering, paying, complaining politely. Practice restaurant dialogues and do not hesitate to do monologues. If you have an MP3 containing dialogues in a restaurant setting, try to repeat after them. Visit a cafe alone or with someone and practice what you have learned. H. Make use of modern technologies. If you have internet access, find an online pal who can speak the language that you're learning. There are also many online tutorials that are available to download. Finally, balance your input of the four language skills. That means you should not focus on reading alone. If you just like reading, do not leave the day without any language input, may it be in the form of listening, speaking, reading, or writing. Find enjoyable ways to make learning a new language interesting. If you also have some tips in learning a new language, feel free to share. Thank you. Until next time.